السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Inshallah, today we are looking at الدرس الرابع, as you can see, and in this particular lesson we are going to look at a brief summary. Okay, it's going to be a summary of the adat and the ma'dud. We have studied the numbers. Okay, so from the beginning, from number one, up to where we are currently at in studying the numbers, we are going to look at a brief summary of it. So, as I said, without wasting much time, let's just enter into the lesson and then we'll see. So, as you can see, al-adad, the numbers, or the count. Okay, the number or the count is called al-adad. So, if you can remember, initially we look at the numbers 1 to 10. Afterwards, we look at 11 to 20. And then afterwards, we look at the adadul uqud, and then there are even more for us to study. We are going to look at even the thousands. Okay, how to conjugate them. 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, all these huge numbers. We will still look at how to conjugate them, okay, with ease. So, but for now, of course, as I said, we are going to look at a summary from the beginning to where we stop currently. So here, as you can see, this is a very nice chart or nice diagram that they have made to illustrate that. So the first one here is he's talking about number 1 and number 2. So if I see 1, 2, okay, 1 student, 2 students. So that's the first part, 1 and then 2. So these are the numbers are in the brackets: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, in that other 11, 12. So the first one is 1 and 2. So of course we are doing a revision, okay, a brief summary of, if we have learned it previously, but we are doing a revision and a summary. Hope that is clear. Okay. So as we have learned previously, the numbers from 1 to 2, okay, they are an-na'at wal man'ut. Okay, it's like a noun and its adjective. So the rules of an-na'at wal man'ut, it applies to them, 1 and 2. Okay, so the gender, they must have the same gender, and then they must have the same i'rab. Similarly, if this one is indefinite, this one should also be definite, and also the number. Okay, so we have looked at this, so that's what applies to them. So you see tolibun wahidun, but if it is feminine, tolibatu wahidatun. You see, if this one is masculine, this should be masculine. If this is definite, this should be definite. If this is tolibin, then here should be wahidin. You see, so just then the rules, the 4 rules of na'at wal man'ut, it applies to them. The same way as the 2. Okay, tolibani is nani. So if it is feminine, tolibatani is natani. You see the ta is added here. So that one is not any difficulty. It's just that if you know the rules of an-na'at wal man'ut, the rules of a noun and its adjective, how they should be conjugated, that 4 rules, okay, the i'rab, the number, the gender, and then whether it is definite or indefinite, we have looked at it previously. So that's the main thing that they follows, number 1 and number 2. Okay, so if you are seeing 2 students, they follow that rule. Now 3 to 9, okay, number 3 to 9, they don't follow, they are not na'at wal man'ut. Okay, they are rather mudaf wa mudaf ilayhi. So 3 to 9. So if I say 3 students, 9 students, 5 students, 7 students, between 3 to 9, the numbers are mudaf ilayhi. So you see salasatu tulabin. You can remember mudaf ilayhi is always majrur. So that's why you see it is ending in bin with kasratain. Khamsatu tulabin, sab'atu tulabin, tis'atu tullabin, you see. So they are mudof and mudof ilay. That's the first thing that we need to actually know about them. Then also the gender, they are going to have different gender, opposite genders. Unlike this one, the one and the two, where they have the same gender. For 3 to 9, they should have opposite genders. So if I say 3 male students, the male student, that's Taliban or Tulabun. But the count should be opposite. So I will say Salasatu Tulabin, 3 male students. So even though I'm counting male students, but the number should be opposite, it should be feminine. So that's why you say Salasatu but not Salasu. I hope that is clear. Yes. So the number and then the thing you are counting, the adad and then the ma'dud, they must have opposite genders when you are counting between 3 to 9. I hope that is clear. So Salasatu Tulabin. But if it is feminine, so you are going to see, as you are counting female students, it will be Talibatin, right? Female students. So you will see Salathu. I hope that is clear. Okay. So that is what happens with that one. And then another thing that we need to know is that the count, the ma'dud, the thing we are counting is always plural between 3 to 9. So you can say Salasu Taliban. It's not going to be correct. I hope that is clear. So the thing you are counting between 3 to 9, they must be plural. I hope that is clear. So you say Tulab bin, that's plural. Talibatin, that's plural. I hope that is clear. So that's the 3 rules. When you are counting between 3 to 9, there are 3 rules mainly. The first is they are mudof and mudof ilayhi. Then 2, the gender, they are supposed to have opposite gender. The number and the thing you are counting should have opposite gender. Then 3, the thing you are counting should be plural. The ma'dud, the thing you are counting, that's the ma'dud, it should be plural. I hope that is clear. So that's the simple rule between 3 to 9. I hope that is clear. Okay, so we are just going to look at, that's basically what we are looking at. We are just doing a revision of basically how to conjugate them and the rules surrounding them. Now let's look at 11 and 12. If we are counting between 11 and then 12, how is it going to be? Okay, for 11 and 12, between 11 to maybe 19, I mean these numbers which are 2 parts, like you have 14, 15, 16, you know, they are made up of 2 numbers. If I say 14, there is 10 or 1 and then 4. Okay, so we call them Adadul Murakkab. Adadul Murakkab. Okay, this is not something new, we have seen it before. Adadul Murakkab. So between 11 and let's say 19, let's break it down. 11 and then 12 first. We take the first 2, like here. Okay, when we're counting from 1 to 10, you can see that we took the first 1 and then 2. Similarly, when we are counting from 11 to 19, we'll take 11 and 12 also. They will have different from the 13 and then to the 19. Okay, so the 11 and 12, mostly the first 2 numbers, if you are counting from 1 to 10, the first 2 numbers, they mostly have different error. The same way if you are counting from 11 to 20, the first two numbers, they will have different error. Okay, so 1 and 2, 11 and 12, 21 and 22, 31 and 32. The first 2 numbers between, the first 10, each 10 numbers, they mostly have different error. So here, let's look at the 11 and 12. 11 and 12. 1, what we need to know is that they are going to have the same gender. Ahada, Ashara, Taliban, masculine. Now, if it is feminine, assuming I'm counting 11 female students, 11 male students, that's what it means. Assuming I'm counting 11 female students, the feminine form of Ahada is what? Ehda, so I'll say Ehda. Ashara, what's the feminine form of Ashara? Asharata. What's the feminine form of Taliban? Talibatan. So you see, between 11 and 12, the the numbers, the two numbers, as we said, we call them adadul murakkab because they are in two parts. It's like, unlike here, you just see this o, tolibatin, this o, you just see 9 and you are there. But here you have to say 11. You see there is 1 and then another 1. You see there is 1 and then 10. Like literally there is 1 and 10. You see 1 and then 10. So they are made up of two parts. 11 and, like you see in 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Those numbers are made up of two parts. You know that. So both the two parts plus the thing you are counting, they must have the same gender. So ehda, asharata, tolibatan, both are feminine, all are feminine. So the whole three things must be feminine if you are counting feminine things, and they all must be masculine if you are counting masculine things. I hope that is clear. So that's the first thing that we need to know: the gender, the three things, the first number, the second number, and then the ma'dud, the thing you are counting. They must have the same gender between 11 and then 12. The same way here is na ashara taliban, but here if it is feminine, it's nata. You add the ta there. Okay, it's nata asharata tolibatan. The same way, so it's very easy. Okay, that's the first thing for the 11 and 12. That's what happened. The gender is the same across. Okay, the three things. Now here, let's look at between 13 to 19. When you are counting between 13 to 19, when you are counting between 13 to 19, what happens is that the last two, okay, the last two, the ashara and then the ma'dud. Okay, the ashara here, please observe the ashara and then the taliban. The same way, the ashara and then the thing you are counting, the ashara and then the ma'dud, they must have the same gender, and the first number should oppose. The first number should oppose. I hope that is clear. That's the ruling. So if I am counting masculine things, of course, I will begin with a feminine, with feminine. So assuming I'm counting, this is 13 female, 13 male students. In Arabic, we usually begin with the 3, unlike in English, you see 13. You write 1 and then you write 3. But in Arabic, when you are writing it in West form, the 3 comes first. So salasata, if the thing you are counting is masculine, of course, as I said, between 13 to 19, there is opposition in gender. Okay. So the salasa, the first number will oppose the last two. Unlike here, all are having the same gender. Here, the first one will oppose the last two. The first one should oppose the last two. The last two should have the same gender. That's why I underline them in red. They are having the same gender. Ashara taliban. But if it is asharata, then here should also be talibatan. Oh, that is clear. And they should oppose. So salasata ashara taliban. And here salasa, that's masculine. Asharata talibatan, that's feminine. Oh, that is clear. So they must oppose between the 3 to 19. Oh, that is clear. Okay. And then another thing is that the ma'dud, the thing we are counting, it should be mufrad and it should be tamyiz. Mufrad, tamyiz. Bimana singular and then mansub. Okay, mansub with dommatain. Yeah, I'm saying dommatain, fathatain. I hope that is clear. Observe here. If I'm saying 9 male students, I'll say tis'atu tulabin. Tulab is plural. I hope that is clear. But between 11, from 11 to 99, the thing you are counting, they must be singular. If you are counting from 11 to 99, the thing you are counting, the ma'dud should be singular with tamyiz. So Taliban, that's one. Taliban means one male student. Okay, but that is how it is. You can say Tulaban. It's not allowed. You say Taliban. It must be singular. Okay, so two rules here. the first number should oppose the last two, and the last two, of course, the last two should be the same. The ashara and then the thing you are counting must have the same gender, and they should both oppose the first number. That's the first rule. The second rule is the thing you are counting, the ma'dud should be mufrad with tamyiz. Okay, that's the main thing here. Okay, so I think I would also like to add something, and that is the first number that you are counting. Even all the three numbers, they are mansub. Salasata ashara taliban. Between 13 onwards, salasata ashara taliban. You can say salasa 2. Okay, they are mansub. All the three numbers are going to be mansub. So if I'm saying 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, between 13, from 13 onwards, I mean from 13 to 19, okay, they are all are supposed to be masculine. I'm saying masculine. All are supposed to be mansub. The three numbers. Okay, salasata ashara taliban, khamsata ashara taliban, sab'ata ashara taliban. You will see mansub dhamma somewhere, like this are two. You won't hear that. This are two ashara taliban is not allowed. All the three numbers must be mansub. Okay. So I think let's continue, right, with the next page here. Okay, so I hope you can see. So we are now coming to 20. Okay, 20. These particular numbers are what we called the adadul uqud. Okay, we call them adadul uqud, the tens. Okay, tens. They are multiples of tens, of 10. So 20, 30, 40, 50, all these numbers we call them adadul uqud. Okay, so ishuruna, okay, salasuna, arbauna, khamsuna, and that other. Okay, so if you are having, for them there is a very simple rule, and that is they have the same, they remain the same whether they are masculine or feminine. If I'm counting male students or female students, I just say ishurun. That's all. They cannot be feminine. There's no feminine form of it, of them. Ishurun. You won't see what's the feminine form of ishurun. It's just like that. It doesn't have a feminine form. So whether the thing you are counting is male or female, they are males or females, we just use ishurun. So that's why you see here ishurun taliban. Ishurun talibatan. You see. So whether masculine or feminine, we use the same thing for them. Ishurun. Not only ishurun, not only 20, even 30, 40, 50. Okay, we just use the same thing for both masculine and feminine. Okay. So that's one thing that you need to know about them, the tens. Okay, the multiples of tens. That's the 20, 30, 40, 50, those numbers. They are used for both masculine and feminine. Okay. And then now let's look at if there's something attached to it, not just 20, 30, 40, but if I have 21, 22, 23, I hope that is clear. Okay, so in that regards, what we need to know is that there's going to be the first one and then the second one. Okay, the number 1 and then the number 2. The man at 21 and 22, like I said before, the first two numbers, they mostly have different Arab with the others, the 3 to 9. Okay, so 21 and 22 have different Arab as compared to 23 onwards to 29. So 21 and 22, they both have the same gender. Okay, I mean the first number and then the ma'dud. Okay, I mean this first number and then the ma'dud, the thing you are counting, they will have as I said, the ishrun remains ishrun. If not, I mean Arab, but there is no it doesn't matter whether feminine or masculine, it remains as ishrun. Okay. So wahidun, you see taliban, that's masculine. But if I'm counting feminine things, okay, assuming the things I'm counting are feminine, the feminine form of wahidun is what? Ihda. And taliban is what? Talibatan. You see. So the first number and the second number, they must have the same Arab. I'm saying the same Arab. They must have the same gender. Oh, that is clear. That's the most important thing here. And it's just repeating, even between the 11 and 12, that was the same thing. 21 and 22, the same thing. They will have the same Arab with the with the Ma'dud. The first number will have the same Arab with the Ma'dud. I hope that is clear. So it's not anything difficult. Okay, like this. Then the rest, of course, they will oppose. Very easy concept. The rest will oppose from 13 onwards to I'm saying 13. From 23 onwards to 29, they will now oppose. So here you can see the thing we are counting is masculine. Taliban. So it will oppose. Talibatun. I am saying Talibatun. Salasatun. I hope that is clear. So Talibatan, Salasatun. You can see the term blue that it is opposing the Taliban in gender. They have opposite gender. But here, if you have Talibatan, as you can see here, Talibatan, here will be Salasun, not Salasatun. I hope that is clear. So there is opposition from 23 to 29. The first number and then the thing you are counting, they will oppose each other in gender. But 21 and 22, they will have the same gender across. So that's the easiest concept here. I hope that is clear. Okay. Now, another thing that I forgot to mention is here. Please observe something here. I hope you can see that there is something. See, you can see Ashara and then you can see Ashra. With the shin, the letter shin is having school on it, but not fatha. You see Asharata. I don't know whether you get me. You are getting what I'm saying. Why is it Ashrata, but not Asharata? Why is the shin not having fatha? Okay, so when the thing you are counting is feminine, that's what happens. The Asharata, it won't be like that. It will be Asharata. The shin will take school when you are counting feminine thing. Okay, but when it is masculine, you just be Ashara. But if it is feminine, you are counting Ashrata. The same thing here. Taliban is masculine, so Ashara. Talibatan is feminine here, so Ashrata. I hope that is clear. So the shin will take school when the thing you are counting is feminine, and it will take fatha when the thing you are counting is masculine. I hope that is clear. Okay. So here, I hope here too is clear, the 21 to 29. I hope that is clear. Okay. Now we will look at, we have 30 here. 30 Salasul Taliban. 30 students, 30 male students. I've explained them. The other ukud, they are used for both masculine and feminine. So if I say 30 male students, I'll say Salasuna. If they are masculine, if they are feminine, Salasuna, the same thing. So Salasuna, Taliban, male students. The same with Salasuna, Talibatan, female students. And then the same for the multiples of 10. Okay, on 20, 30, 40. Okay, so Salasun, Arbaun, Khamsun, Situn, Sabun, Sabanun, Tisun, in the other. They have the same thing. Now let's look at 100. 100. Me'atu. So it is written like this, as you can, just like the way you see it. That is how it is written. Me'atu Talibin. Okay, then the same thing here. Me'atu Talibatin. It is Mudof Ilay. Hope that is clear. Okay. Now, assuming I have a small number attached to it, like 101. So of course it is also used for, like I've said, the multiples of 10. Okay, it is used for what's the name? Masculine and feminine. Okay, so Mi'atu Talibin. The same way, Mi'atu Talibatin. That's for use for masculine and then use for feminine. I hope that is clear. Okay, so it does not distinguish, or it doesn't discriminate between masculine or feminine ma'dud, feminine object that you are counting. It is used for both. Okay, but if I have, let's say 101, how do I say it? We just say this one, Mi'atu Talibin. Mostly the simplicity, of course, here they didn't add it, but the simple way is I have a simple way of I I mean, there's another way to say it apart from what they have written here, and I think that one is more easier. I'll say it so that you also know it. So if I want to say 101 students, I'll just say me atu tolibin, that's 100. Then I'll say wawahidun. Oh, that is clear. Wawahidun. Me atu tolibin wawahidun. That's easy. 101. Okay, so if I want to say 102, okay, me atu tolibin wasnani. 100 students and 2. Okay, I mean in direct translation in English. So I'll just add me atu tolibin wawahidin wawahidun. Okay, if it is 102, me atu tolibin wasnani. Okay, so that is more easier. But here they didn't do that. They also add a different way, and that is me atu tolibin wa tolibun. So 100 students and 1 student. Of course, tolibun means a single student, right? So 100 students and a single student, meaning 101 in simplicity. Okay, it's just the same, similar things, like I said. Right? The same way if you have a feminine. So the one I was saying, if it is feminine, the wahidun will now, the last number will now be different. So if I say me atu tolibin, it's the same as if it is feminine, me atu tolibatin, the me will remain the same, but the number which is added is now what will be different. So as I have 101. If I'm counting boys, 101, I'll say me atu tolibin wa wahidun. So the wahid will be masculine, of course. But if it is feminine, the last number, the wahidun, as you know, 101 girls. So the wahidun will now be feminine. So I'll say me atu tolibin wa wahidatun. Hope that is clear. So in counting 100 and something, mostly between 101 to 109, the last number, then the 1 or the 2 and the 3 or whatever, that last number will be dependent on the gender. I hope that is clear. So that's why you see here, me atu tolibin wa tolibun. But here me atu tolibatun, tolibatin wa tolibatun. So here tolibun and here tolibatun. Okay, so the last number depends on the thing, the gender of the thing you are counting. Okay, and it will be the same as that gender. Okay, so I hope that is clear. And the same way here too, me atu tolibin wa tolibani is just easy. My own too, the one I said, we can say me atu tolibin wasnani, or simply say wa tolibani. Okay, and if it is feminine, me atu tolibatin, then the last thing will differ. So I can see wasnatani. That's the feminine form, wasnatani. Me atu tolibatin wasnatani, or simply say me atu tolibatin wa tolibatani, as they have it here. Okay, in the other, then here me atu wa thalathatu tullabin. Here, as I said, my own is more easier than the one they are doing based on what I can see. Okay, but it depends on you if you prefer this one or that one, you can go by it. Okay, so my own, I would have just simply say me atu tolibin, like 103. Me atu tolibin wa thalathun. Okay, simple. Okay, so I think let's pause here, and then inshallah we'll continue in the next page, inshallah, in the next lesson. If there is any question or any confusion, please try to draw our attention so that we will make clarification. We'll pause here and then continue in the next lesson. Jazakumullahu khairan wa barakallahu li wa lakum fi Qur'anil Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa zikril hakim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.